got a little update about Kevin Durant that we are going to explain on the show. As you see at the bottom of your screen, sprained MCL out for 2 weeks. Now, how does this impact the Brooklyn Nets? And I think for me, before I pass this rock up, I think one of the biggest steals of the offseason was TJ Warren. And that's why you brought that guy in here to get buckets, especially when you look at the past and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant's availability or lack thereof. You have a guy that can score the basketball. You have a guy that can be effective in the mid-range and isolation. You have a guy that when he's on the floor with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, he's able to pick apart his mismatches that he has on the floor. And I think he's more of a consistent Karis LeVert, if you want to ask me, because Karis LeVert, although he can get hot, he's streaky. This guy, he can consistently get buckets. So you have that guy, he's going to be even more important as Kevin Durant is missing these games. Also, I think it's an emphasis on the shooters, primarily Joe Harris and Seth Curry, to be more consistent from the arc. And if they can do that, you saw yesterday when they played in Miami, they were blitzing Kyrie Irving, throwing different looks at him, forcing him to get the ball out of his hands. They made the plays. They found a way to win the game and edge the game out. They're going to have to do that. Kyrie Irving is playing phenomenal. He's going to have to be the alpha in the time that Kevin Durant is out, and hopefully they can stay afloat until Kevin Durant gets back, because I hate to see a team that's finally piecing things together offensively. They're having a historical season offensively. Number one in the league in offensive efficiency. So the fact that they're playing so good, and we used to coming on this show and just bashing them for every little reason, I hate to see this be the catapult of why what could have been is not. So hopefully they can stay afloat, and I think they ultimately will.
I think
go ahead, Zay.
no, I was gonna say real quick. I think this KD injury has been the headlines for the Nets the last couple seasons. KD getting hurt while things are going well, things are starting to mesh, and then KD gets hurt, and that's when the downfall goes, the roller coaster ride, essentially, guys. That steep drop, and this is where it is. For me, when the news came out that KD got hurt, my mind instantly thought, all right, he's probably not going to come back until after All-Star break, because why risk it? Why force him to come back sooner than he has to, especially if he's going to miss a month, and then the All-Star break is right there. Just allow him just to get that full 6-week rest, whatever it is, so that he could come back, play tough the second half of the season. The only issue with that is there's 18 games between now and the All-Star break. Do you want to wait 18 games? Are the Nets capable of winning winning majority of those games? I think they are. I think the Nets are primed to win more games. And the one reason only Kyrie Irving is going on an absolute tear. This man is bowling out of his mind. I think that's something that people are overlooking when they look at this Nets team. I think everyone is finally playing their role. I think TJ Warren, as Lo said, is scoring buckets that people are starting to realize this guy can actually still play basketball. Seth Curry still out there shooting hoops. Nick Claxton playing like a top tier center in the league. There's a lot of things going right outside of Kevin Durant for the Nets team. It's just about continuing the system going. Jacques Vaughn preaching, doing a good job getting the guys ready on a nightly basis, and I think he's one of the coaches of the year. Just showcasing everything he's able to do for this Nets team and how they're playing way better without Steve Nash. The injury sucks. I think it is, like I said, it's a recipe for disaster, because usually this is how every Nets season has started. When things starting to go bad is with a KD injury. But I think this is the year where they actually break that curse, because they actually have guys who are bowling on all cylinders and not just hoping that KD gets them 50 in a night.
And they have the coach, to make the X and O adjustments.
That's the key.
Jacques Vaughn.
It's the coach. When you coach in the NBA and you got an abundance of talent, we can always sit back and say, oh, well, it's easy to coach that team because they got a lot of talent. They're going to win games anyway. And Steve Nash rode that wave until he couldn't ride it no more. Jacques Vaughn is showing you what a real coach, a real leader of men supposed to do. This is why this team is playing. Not just Kevin Durant's playing well or Kyrie Irving's playing well. The team, we keep saying that, the team is playing well. This team actually looks good. And that's from a coaching perspective. That was the difference between Steve Nash and Jacques Vaughn. Steve Nash, to me, was a horrible coach. He just had an abundant amount of talent. So they're going to win games just based off talent, okay? Clearly, Steve Nash is not on the court, but he's off the court as a coach. He's affecting the game, okay? Jacques Vaughn is affecting the game, but in a positive way. Steve Nash is affecting the game in a negative way. We are watching that happen. That's why the Brooklyn Nets is geared up to make a real deep playoff run. Now, as far as this Kevin Durant injury, like you said, Zay, he do get hurt. But that's to be expected. Kevin Durant misses about 10 to 15 games a year. Like, that's to be expected. Along with Kyrie, he might miss like 10 to 15 games a year. That's going to happen. I'm not really worried about it to the point of I don't think they will be competitive in the playoffs. I think they will. And listen, y'all know I'm hard on Kevin Durant. I am not a Kevin Durant fan by any stretch, but I respect winning. And more than respecting winning, I respect the road to winning. Okay? I just don't like his road to his 2 wins. If he take this team and this road to win a championship, I give Kevin Durant all of his props. I'm not here hating on Kevin Durant. Okay? But if that dude takes this team right now and get a championship out of it, you're going to see me change my whole tune on him because I respect stuff like that. And right now, I do believe they have a legitimate shot to win a championship because there is no team in the NBA that's head and shoulders above everybody. The Brooklyn Nets is right in the thick of things to win a championship. And if Kevin Durant is really that dude, when he gets healthy, when he comes back, he could lead this team to a championship, along with Jack Vaughn as the head coach.
And I think this is the perfect opportunity for the Nets to kind of shame some of the media critics, because I don't think they have got enough credit in this span where they are the best team in basketball in this like 20-game span because of all the negativity that flew through the organization. This team was literally a few steps away from a controlled demolition. Okay. And the fact that they are able to win these games the way how they're winning it, not only offensively, but even if they're not great defensively, the effort, right? The ability to steal, block shots because of the length. They're doing a lot of good things in playing team basketball. And a lot of people is not, they're like, it's the Nets. It's going to happen where, you know, they're just going to disevolve. But I think if Kevin Durant is out and they find ways to win, it's going to get these guys to come around and say, you know what? Hold up. We talking about the Bucks. Hold up. We talking about the Celtics. Hold up. We talking about the Cavs. What about these Nets?
Oh, yeah. No, listen, man. Listen, Kevin Durant, like you said, with the injury, this is where coaching comes into play. Can they sustain the level of play that they was playing? No, you're missing Kevin Durant. But can they sustain and be still competitive in the East? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like you said like 18 games between now and the All-Star break. Yeah, I can see them going 10-8 or 11-7. You know what I mean? Something respectable when Kevin Durant come back, they can ride that wave out. I don't see them just falling down, 18 games left and they only win 4 and they go 4-14. No, this team is geared up to still win without Kevin Durant. They won't win a championship unless he's healthy. And that's why getting him healthy is more important than anything.
You know, Real quick, I just want to say one last thing, you know, just with the assets that the Nets brought in during the offseason. Not even offseason, last year. They brought in Ben Simmons. They got TJ Warren. They got players ready to pick up the slack. Guys who were high usage players on other teams and now are on the Nets in situations like this where they're able to not take over, but get a bulk more minutes, more shot attempts, more ability, more opportunities to show their ability on offense and defense to help this team continue winning games. So this Nets team, as currently constructed, is one of the deeper teams in the NBA because they have guys on this particular team that did so much more for other teams, that help teams go to playoff aspirations, to take their team deeper into like late game situations where they're the main scorer, the main defender of their team. So Kevin Durant's injury, like I said, unfortunate, but his health is more important right now for the success of the playoffs, to hopefully get this team to an NBA Finals appearance, not a championship, not to win it, but to get them to an NBA Finals appearance, or at least Eastern Conference Finals. So that's something that is on the minds of the Nets right now, or at least should be. And Kevin Durant should not rush his recovery, because that's something that Steve Nash used to have Kevin Durant do. He would come back from an Achilles injury, play him 50 minutes in a game. You know, like, it doesn't make any sense to do so. So, you know, it sucks, but, you know, patience is key. And this is where Jacques Vaughn, as Lil said, is to really show his coaching chops.